Now, with all that black and chrome aluminum polish goodness, that 4-foot freaking radiator hose. You can do really expensive and you can do not so expensive. Well, we're gonna do the not so expensive. How do we do it? All right, let's rock and roll on this thing. We pick up one of these bad boys. You pick it up from Summit. There's all kinds of different brands, but this is all you're gonna need. That is gonna become your thermostat housing. This is gonna be the magic right here. You can pick this up from Mazir. It's a 1.5-inch hose to a 16 AN setup. Then you pick up all your fittings, you pick up your braided hose, and that is it. All you're gonna do is run probably a 2-inch long piece of hose off the radiator to this fitting, and then run your 16 AN line. What's it gonna look like? Well, that is how easy it was to put on here. Now, you guys might not dig this. If not, you can put on the full March bracket, or you can have this welded or whatever. I think that still turned out pretty darn well. So now we're gonna move on to the breather setup. This line going from here to that guy. So we're gonna make a new one up, plus I gotta make a mounting bracket that's gonna come off the fuel pump here and hold this guy on, and then this portion of it. Guys, we should be pretty much ready to rock and roll. To get into this. All right, these things are so cool. If you guys have not used them for less than 300 bucks, these things are freaking awesome. What is the whole benefit of this? So you can just slowly ramp in your nitrous kit. Think of an on and off switch. That's a nitrous kit. Bang, on, bang, off. Turbos, pro chargers, anything like that. That's more of a dimmer switch, you know, kind of that whole thing with the sound effects. Well, this allows you to be able to bring it in softly. And what's cool is we can bring it in over a timeline. We can bring it in percentage over the timeline. There's so many cool things, and we will get into them. But first things first, let's get this thing installed. This is your main unit, very basic. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna hook this up into the kickboard over here, up kind of high and out of the way. Damn Polacks trying to put nitrous kits on. So first things first, let's get this in, let's ground it, and then we'll move into the wiring portion of it. So now we're gonna hook up the harness, and then I'm not gonna worry about this piece yet. This is gonna be the last thing. That's our little display panel. And then we're gonna hook up to our nitrous solenoid. Remember, you're gonna be using up your solenoids. The more aggressively you use this, meaning the more that you go over a timed period that you're trying to control the solenoids, it's going to be like a machine gun, and it's going to be turning it on, turning it off, turning it on, turning it off. And at that point, you're going to use up the solenoids. Does it mean, oh my God, I'm going to use the solenoids up in like 2 weeks? No, it does not mean that at all. It's just going to use them up more. So keep that in mind, all right? So this is legitimately it for the wires that you hook up. You hook up a ground, you hook up the white wire, which goes to your 12-volt source, then you hook up the green wire, which goes to your tack, the blue-white wire, which is going to go to your micro switch, and then the big blue one is going to go to the ground source of both solenoids. Those are the only wires that you're going to hook up to run one stage of nitrous. Now, ground, pretty simple. If you don't know how to ground something, you shouldn't be doing any of this. Hooking up your 12-volt switch source. Hook it up to your nitrous arming switch. Okay, so once you flip that switch, everything turns on. Then from there, we're just going out front here. We're going to hook this up to our tack. We're going to hook this up to our micro switch. And we're going to hook this up to the ground of both solenoids. Let's get into the handheld and how it works. So as you can see, bang, there's the handheld, and this is our blue and white wire, and you can see how I got it going to the micro switch. Now, this is how your handheld is going to work, and this is how easy it is, you guys. This is going to be the screen that pops up when you first do this. Now, we're going to go in, and we're going to go into nitrous configurations. Let me grab my trusty old glasses here, because I can't see a damn thing. What's that? What's that, Sonny boy, doing a little nitrous kit? Yeah. So we're going to go into nitrous configuration. Boop. Now, we're going to go right into system number 1, because we don't have a system 2. Go into setup. I'll show you a graph here in a second. Setup. First thing we're going to do is it's going to be disabled. We're going to enable it. Then we're going to save it. We're already good there. Active RPM. This is instantly coming on with the micro switch. I'm not worried about it coming on at 2,000 RPM, anything like that. Now, you can come in here and you can adjust it wherever you want. Once you get it where you want, you just hit the save button. Deactivate. Now, this one's important right there. This one's important. If you all of a sudden blow your transmission up and you send this thing against the chip and the nitrous is on, you got a good chance you're going to send some rods through that frickin' motor. So deactivate it above your shift point, but lower than where your chip's at. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now, your ramp builder. This is where we have fun. This is the starting percentage that we're going to hit it with. We're going to end it at 100%. Ramp time is what 25 to 100% is going to take. I got it set at 1.6. And then stage duration is how long the nitrous actually stays on. Now, starting point, you can literally go through this, and it's just like a little calculator. You put in whatever you want, 25%, 10%, whatever. As soon as you do it, you hit save. I'll tell you what, let's go 296%. No, that's a little too much. We'll go 29%. Save. Boop. Okay, we're at 29%. That's our ramp time. Stage duration, again, it's just how long we're going to go through and keep the system on. And it's all this little calculator setup. You put it in, you hit save, you're done. So let's say we're going to do it for, we'll keep it at 2.5. Save. There we go. Now, with this done, and you're happy with it, you're going to go up here, and you're going to configure the ramp. So this is going to lock it in. Bang. Okay, that's it. You're done. It's locked in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and I'll show you the graph here in 1 second. So let's go back to home. Bang. We're right there. Now you'll notice in this corner, when I hit the system, it's going to go green. That means the system's turned on. We're good to go. You're not going to stare at that when you're in the car. But we're going to listen for a flutter, and then we're going to listen for the final click, and that's when it turns off. So you hear a brrr, it'll go for a second, and then you'll hear it click off. There we go, and we're good to go. So let's say we go back into here, nitrous configuration, stage 1, graph. I can change any, see where it says 29% right there? I can have it come at 56%. I can have it all the way at 1%. So let's just say I want to go all the way into here. I can bring it down, I can bring it up, I can do whatever I want. So now I can have this ramp up. Hey, I'm getting ready for a gear shift. I can drop it down, and I can have it come back in. There's so many things that you can do with this, which is sweet. You have two different cars. One can take the full 150 shot, one can't. How would I use that for a 10-0 index style racing? This is how. It can eat it. It can handle the 150 shot. But let's say on that 150 shot, the car runs 970s, all right? So what I would do is where the duration is, where I had it at like 2.5 seconds, you would run that to maybe 8.5 seconds. So the system's gonna shut itself down, but your foot stays flat to the floor. You don't change any of your driving, nothing. We wanna have that thing eat out of the hole with all the nitrous. That's the best case scenario there. Then what you would do is you would either back the nitrous off more, or you would give it a little bit more in that shutdown duration time to hit that 10 ohm mark. Makes sense? Makes sense. Now, let's say you have it to where it's something like this and you're having problems spinning really bad. What we would do is we would ramp it in over X amount of time, and you could play with that graph, but normally I want it ramped in and on kill by 60 feet. So whatever my 60 foot is, that's normally where I try to get that to come into play. But you can play with the ramp, and by that point it should be hooking. If not, you got some suspension issues. Then at that point, get it to eat all the way out the big end. And if you do have that problem where it still runs, you know, like a 990 or something like that, then kill it at the big end. There's so many ways that you can work this kit to run really consistent on those index style races, 10-0s, 1150, you know, whatever you're trying to do. And for a cheap, inexpensive kit, guys, you can't beat this kit. There are better ones out there for multiple stages, but this allows you to run a small stage like a multi-stage. And that's what's cool about it. And that's what I love about this thing. Hood is pinned on. There we go, you guys. That looks way freaking better. Yes, it's gonna get repainted. Joe's gotta end up doing that. But that is a 4-inch glass tech. So that looks pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. But we are gonna be hitting it on the next episode. I know I'm such a dick, But hit that subscribe button, then we'll be getting this thing out onto the road. Will we be testing the nitrous on it? I don't know. That one's totally up to Joe to find out if he wants to do it. But maiden voyage is coming soon, so hit that subscribe button. Always appreciate it when you guys are checking out the channel and you're here checking me out. I mean, you're checking me out, baby. Those sex there. Till we meet again, my friends, in the next one. See ya. Woo!